Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome again to another fragrance review. I am your host, Ali, and we review fragrances from all sorts of type of fragrances, specializing in affordable fragrances or discounted fragrances. I decided to create this video. The theme for our video is sexy date night fragrances, or also like evening wear fragrances, but especially more like a sensual for a date night, romantic night out with your significant other. I will be reviewing a total of 6 fragrances. This is a part 1. There are so many great fragrances that are, date night worthy, but I wanted to start off with, a smaller batch so that we can focus a little bit more on each one of them and to keep the videos a little bit shorter. Each and every fragrance that I selected for my collection are affordable, and also they have their own unique scents. So I tried to pick a little bit of everything for everyone, with the exception of the florals. My apologies, floral lovers, that we're going to have to leave for another video. But there is some beautiful fragrances here that I'm really excited to share with you. Some of these fragrances have already made a lot of commotion in the fragrance review community. Some of these fragrances have already been, causing waves, and they were just really, really popular in their time. Some of these are still very popular and desirable, and some of these have already dwindled down. They've lost popularity, but nevertheless, that does not make them any less of a good fragrance. They all deserve a little spotlight here in this video, just because they're so great, and I think they're just fabulous fragrances that are so affordable. So without further ado, I want to thank everyone for being here today. If you are not a subscriber, please subscribe to our channel. This channel focuses on fragrances, especially affordable fragrances. And if you do like this video, please hit that like button. It just helps my channel grow, and I really appreciate it if you would do that for me. Thank you so very much. So let's get started. I have my notes here, and we're going to start off with the one we are starting off with is this one right here. Yeah, this is the Guess Seductive Noir. This fragrance here, Guess Seductive Noir, is one of those fragrances that was very, very talked about. You see the shape of the bottle here. It's got a plastic cap with the Guess letters at the top, and it's got the traditional upside down triangle logo from Guess, the Guess brand. And the shape of the bottle is very sleek, very minimal, very mysterious, elegant, and sexy. That's what I get from this bottle. We're going to talk about the fragrance. This one here, I think the bottle does it very well justice. It's a good representation of what this fragrance is. We're going to go ahead and start off with this Guess Seductive Noir fragrance. This to me is a masculine citrus sage fragrance. This is a masculine citrus sage fragrance to me. Out of all the fragrances we're reviewing, out of all the 6, this is the most masculine fragrance. It is more unisex, so I think both men and women can wear this, but I would like to see this one and smell it more on a man. It does really remind me of a very masculine, soft, kind of musky, powdery fragrance scent, but it was designed for women. We're going to go ahead and start with the accords for this one. Vanilla, aromatic, powder, iris, earthy, white floral, woody, musky, herbal, and floral. All right. Now, this fragrance here, when they say herbal and it's the sage is in here, to me, this fragrance has a different kind of scent that I never hear anybody discussing or bringing it up. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit during this review for this one. But before I do, I'm going to go ahead and start listing and naming the notes for this. This is a top notes of sage, bergamot, peony, middle notes of iris, jasmine, sandalwood, lily of the valley, base notes of vanilla, Haitian vetiver, and velvet. I hope I'm saying Haitian correctly. So, this is to me, it just smells like a very masculine scent. This particular fragrance, you guys, I'm just gonna let it soak a little bit right there. It sprayed quite a bit. My apologies. This fragrance talks about, yes, right at the initial spray, you get very, very masculine cologne scent. And I think it's because of this, the high alcohol content at first, and the sage and bergamot, and the Haitian vetiver. Those three combined usually are in formulations for male colognes. And the sage in particular is a very more of a masculine or more neutral gender friendly scent. When you first initially spray this, you get the bergamot and you get the sage mixed in with the peony flower. But this peony flower is not very significant on this particular formula because the other notes come in and they take over. You get a little bit of the sweetness of the vanilla, and the jasmine comes in a little bit later during the dry down. This is a very nice fragrance to me. I feel it a little bit creamier also. Like it could also be like tonic, and I'm not sure why we get this sense with this fragrance. You know, the sage always stays in this fragrance. The citrus also. The note that I was talking about, or the vibe that I get from this, that I don't ever hear anybody talking about it, and I don't know if it's my nose that is sensitive to this particular scent. I get a little bit of a camphor scent, a little bit of that Carmex lip balm. You know, you get that mild minty eucalyptus or camphory kind of scent. On the dry down, when it starts drying down especially, you get that, I pick that up. And then when I put it on my skin as well, this is a mild projection fragrance. If you spray heavy, people are going to be able to smell you from a little bit of a distance. But it's not a room, it's not a room filler, you know. It doesn't like project outrageously. It's in between, it's in the middle. But you do get that, that's kind of citrusy, sagey, eucalyptusy kind of scent with this fragrance. it's a nice fragrance. I believe in my opinion that it's somewhat of a sexy fragrance that you could, wear on a night out. And you could definitely wear this in the colder time as well. I always feel like the evening wear fragrances are also very, very well suited for the winter time. A very, very nice, very, very nice fragrance, you guys. All right, so we'll go ahead and move that one there. Okay, moving on to our second fragrance of the night. And this one here is the True Reflection by Kim Kardashian. This fragrance here is a little bit of it's a little bit of a creamier fragrance compared to this one and compared to the other ones that we will be reviewing. This is the creamiest or more lactonic out of the bunch. To me, the way that I would describe this is a lactonic plum floral. And it's creamy and it's got a little bit of sweetness as well. So this one, I will read you the accords. This True Reflection by Kim Kardashian is fruity, woody, sweet, patchouli, floral, white floral, powdery, lactonic, warm, spicy, and earthy. This here, I really enjoy. I actually like it more than I do this Guess Seductive Noir. It is just such a creamy, delicate, lotiony, warm fragrance. This is the smaller bottle. I believe it's a one ounce, the 30 ml. This one here has been out for a while as well. We'll read the notes for you. We have top notes of plum, peach and bergamot, middle notes of orchid, gardenia and lotus, and then at the base we have patchouli, woodsy notes, and musk. This to me is a evening wear type of fragrance, but it's more of a softer one. So if you don't want to overpower if you're going to be in a smaller type of venue, like a small restaurant, or where tables are very close together, this is a very, very nice fragrance to select for your date night, because especially if you like creamy, plummy kind of fragrances. This is probably the most floral out of the collection that we're going to be featuring today. You do smell, obviously the plum is very, very dominating. Even though it's at the top note, I would say that this is a plum and gardenia patchouli fragrance. You smell freshness of the lotus, but the warmth and creaminess of the gardenia is what really takes this fragrance more into the feminine fragrance type of mood. It does have patchouli, but honestly, this fragrance, you can't really, it's not a dirty patchouli, and it's a patchouli that is very hard to identify or to sense it. So if you're expecting like a real patchouli because you like patchouli, you won't get it on this particular formulation here. This is more of a creamy plum gardenia floral lactonic fragrance. I do love this one a lot. It's just so comforting. Now, again, to me, it does smell very creamy. when I am asked someone, what do you think about this fragrance in particular? Sometimes I like to ask people that I'm around, if I have the bottles with me. I asked this person. This person was a man. He said that this smelled like something a guy would wear. I mean, I could see how that I could see how that is. Probably the wood and musky notes and the patchouli make it give it a little bit more of a masculine vibe, but it does have a lot of gardenia creaminess. So to me, I would say it leans more towards the feminine, towards the feminine fragrance. Okay, so that's the second one we're reviewing. Kim Kardashian, True Reflection. All right. Next is another fragrance that it is a very, very popular crowd pleaser. And this particular fragrance is a love or hate situation. It is probably one of the strongest out of the whole bunch. But that doesn't take away from the sensual part of it, okay, of this particular fragrance. And this, you guessed it, none other than the Rihanna Reb'l Fleur. This fragrance here, as you can see at the bottom, is one of my top sellers at my decant store. I sell 2 ml samples for people that want to sample fragrances, and I sell them through Poshmark, and it's the little small vials. And this one here is one of my top sellers. I do like to keep a decant store because I have so many fragrances. I'm never going to finish them anytime soon. So not only do I like, sharing the fragrances so people can experience them without having to buy the full bottle, but it also helps me circulate my fragrances, and it helps me support a little bit of my channel so that I can keep adding to my collection and I can continue to do reviews. So anyways, enough of that. Reb'l Fleur by Rihanna. This fragrance here has been a crowd pleaser and so popular throughout the years. It's a fragrance that she was endorsing, and once Rihanna got her own line, which is called Fendi or something like that, she's not endorsing this anymore, but the production is still happening. So somebody else owns this company or this line. This fragrance here, I'll tell you a little story about this. When I first purchased this fragrance, I bought it because everybody was talking about it, and I'm going to be honest. This fragrance I didn't like at first. This fragrance was too much for me. It was way too strong. I did get it during the summertime, so maybe that's what happened. I didn't like it. It was just too much with the heat. So I let it sit. I let it stay in its box for a while. And then probably a year later, I went to it and I just absolutely loved it. It grew on me. I tried it actually for an evening out, and I was dressed up very nicely. I was dressed up in black with red lipstick and big curls, kind of similar to the look that I have now, but a little bit more done up. And I felt like this would be something that I would want to wear, and it lasted the whole night. I felt so nice in this fragrance with my outfit and everything. I felt like It was an attention grabber. It went with my look, and I just really fell in love with this one. And now I really like to reach for this one for evening wear, you know, when I go out. So Reb'l Fleur by Rihanna. This, in my opinion, is a very deep, rich plum and a very prominent amber with tropical vibes. So this is like kind of fruity tropical, but it's very deep plumish and rich amber dominating. What makes this fragrance strong is one of the notes at the base. We're gonna go ahead and review the notes now with you. Actually, we will speak a little bit on the accords. So this is a fruity, sweet vanilla, coconut powdery, patchouli, musky, woody, amber, lactonic fragrance. This here at the top notes, we have peach, plum, red berries, middle notes of coconut, tuberose, hibiscus, and violet. And at the base, we have vanilla, patchouli, musk, and amber. This is Sensual. This is a very sexy fragrance. This is total femme fatale, man eater, you know, not in a bad way, but in like, you know, the red lips, the voluptuous body type. I'm not saying that the voluptuous woman is the only one that can wear this. Absolutely not. You can be a size 0 or size 2 and absolutely get your feminine energy in with this one, right? So this one would bring out your sensual femininity out. So what do you get when you smell this? This is your wonderful fragrance. I just can't believe I didn't like it before. You know, and it's not for everybody. When you first spray this fragrance, you get peach, hibiscus, the violet here is not very screechy, or it's not very noticeable. The tuberose is one of the softest tuberose that I've experienced. Usually a fragrance that has tuberose, the tuberose flower will dominate all the other ones, usually, typically. I think the coconut kind of just brings everything into like a very tolerable, strong fragrance. This coconut this coconut note here just kind of calms everything down, because, you know, the patchouli, vanilla, amber, musk, tuberose, plum, all these vanilla, it can just be crazy strong and overstimulating. This fragrance smells expensive, is very rich. It's a very sexy fragrance. It's a total woman fragrance. It's a total boss lady. It's more on the mature side. So it's somebody that's very, very confident, very self-assured, It's a woman that walks with confidence, with presence, with poise. There is a sense of elegance with this one as well. But if you're looking for more of a patchouli type of fragrance, evening wear, this is a very beautiful, beautiful fragrance for you to try. It's just beautiful. I just absolutely love this. I love it now. I didn't before. So, yes. It's very, very beautiful. So this is the Reb'l Fleur by Rihanna. Very, very beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. I'm not denying it or anything. Okay. We're moving on to one of my personal favorites. I all like them a lot, very much. But this one that I am going to review, I've reviewed it in the past and I featured it in other videos. It's one of my top favorite fragrances, and it's probably my number one or top three, but probably number one of my top three winter fragrances. And this one is probably the strongest out of the 6 that we're going to be showing you today. So this one is, again, not for everybody. This is not for the faint of heart. This is none other than the Very Sexy by Victoria's Secret. Now, I will tell you that this bottle, I'll get a closer look for you here. This bottle, as you can see, has been scratched. It's been dinged. It used to be all like a red garnet color, but the glass is not tinted or colored. It's like a paint. They did like a paint over this. So and this is, and you can see the juice at the bottom. Look at how low it is. This is my 4th bottle. I experienced this fragrance when it first came out, when it was like a square bottle, like a long bottle. And it was gifted to me, and I absolutely just never ever got over it. This has been reformulated and repackaged throughout the years. Victoria's Secret is notorious for changing their presentation, to changing their bottles, and even changing their formula. I liked the original more, but this one is still good. It's still very similar, but you know, there's a little bit of differences. I still love it. It's still one of my favorite evening wear winter fragrances. Very Sexy by Victoria's Secret. It's all in the name. The name says it. It is. I think it is just absolutely a stunner. And it's not a soft fragrance. It's not a mild fragrance by any means. This is a super rich fragrance. It's a little bit on the dark side as well. It's got some sensuality. It's got some fierce energy towards it. So the woman that would wear this is somebody that is not afraid to turn heads or to be noticed. This woman is the epitome of confidence, is the epitome of the sex appeal, bombshell woman that carries herself with this aura of I'm beautiful, and I know what I want, and I know what I like, and I know exactly where I'm headed. This is a fragrance to me that a woman knows her value, and the non-apologetic fragrance by any means. Not for everybody. It's one of those fragrances that, again, it's either too much for you or you just love it. This fragrance is, to me, a very sensual, rich, peppery, blackberry amber fragrance. Yes, it's peppery, very berry and amber fragrance. It's got a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of sweet, it's got a little bit of spicy, and it's got a little bit of musk. So this one, we'll review the main accords. The main accords for the Very Sexy is a floral, powdery, sweet, fruity, musky, citrus, coffee, amber, green, and yellow floral. These were one of the first fragrances that became mainstream, that had coffee notes or cappuccino notes before it was popular, before the whole hype and craze of the gourmand. This one, I think, is one of the fragrances that kind of goes gourmandy, but not too much. This one here has top notes of blackberry, clementine, cactus, cappuccino, and pepper. That's where you get your peppery blue blackberry kind of scent. And then in the middle notes, you have all flowers. It's floral notes, orchids, hortensia, mimosa, and camellia. And then at the base, you have musk, and then again, blackberry, amber, and woody notes. That's why this fragrance is so berry-like to me. And I love fragrances with berry scents, raspberry, blackberry. Raspberries. It's just, I love them. I feel like they're very, I think they're very nice and feminine, and they're very refreshing, and they're just fun fragrances. Not all of those, come out really good, but this one here, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This never gets old. I'm not going to spray this one, you guys. I'm sorry, because I have such little left. I need to get myself a new bottle. Then I haven't used this because I don't want to waste it, and I want to keep the bottle. So I am going to buy myself another one. When you spray this, it's a bomb explosion of raspberry, pepper, and all these floral notes that are very underrated floral notes. Like hortensia and mimosa, you don't get to see those very, very often, or camellia. These notes are a little bit more, they're a little bit more on, like, I guess a little powdery, and it's not your typical floral scent. You get this amber, this warmth of the amber. And then, like, the cactus and cappuccino kind of it gives you a little bit of a mystery there, The cappuccino, gives it that warmth, that comfort. It's not very prominent, but it's there. The cactus gives it this, like, freshness. It's musky. You get a little bit of the woody notes. But really, the raspberry and the amber is really what kind of takes this fragrance to a different kind of a family, different kind of a group. And then to top it, you have that peppery. You have that peppery scent. So blackberry pepper with undertones of amber. It's just beautiful. This is just a sexy, sexy fragrance. It's probably never gonna leave my collection. So if you're looking for something bold and something sensual and a little different, check this out. Try this out and let me know what you think. Okay, well, moving on to our second to last fragrance. And this one is another fragrance that has just been crazy all over. So many reviews on this one, and especially during the winter time, this comes up a lot as being a favored or very recommended. And yes, we had to throw a Juicy Couture fragrance, and this is the Gold Couture by Juicy Couture. This is the gold. It's a cute little bottle. I mean, see, they all have a similar kind of vibe. They all have see, this one has a little bow. It's like a tiny little fishnet with little polka dots. And they all have black. They all have some sort of little elegance touch to them. This one, as you can see, this one's pretty much gone. This is another fragrance that's on my top 10 bestsellers on my Decant store. People are very curious about this one. This one is more, I'll tell you, this one here, this Juicy Couture, Gold Couture, is more on the gourmand, sweet gourmand. This to me is a very sweet berry, floral caramel gourmand fragrance. It has that Juicy Couture Viva La Juicy DNA. You can sense it in the background. But this one has a little bit different notes than the Juicy Couture, the Viva La Juicy, I mean. But it does share some of the notes as well. So this one, main accords, caramel, vanilla, sweet, white, floral, fruity, woody, powdery, balsamic. This is also another crowd pleaser. People went crazy over this one. So at the top, we have the same notes. Well, not the same notes, but this wild berry DNA, which is in the Viva La Juicy, is, I think, what kind of keeps this fragrance very similar to that. This one at the top notes wild berries, gardenia, lily of the valley. Middle notes of honeysuckle, jasmine, sandalwood, and vanilla orchid. At base notes, we have caramel, vanilla, sandalwood, and praline. Now, what differentiates this from the Viva La Juicy is the caramel and the praline is very strong. Not very, yeah, it's much stronger. Like it's what that caramel and sandalwood and praline and vanilla is what makes this a little different than the Viva La Juicy. Again, they share the same DNA, but this is sweeter. It's got caramel, it's got vanilla, it's got praline, therefore making it more gourmand. This one is more for me is for like an evening summer, like a summer evening, a warm summer evening date night. The Viva La Juicy is more like fresher or more sweeter for like summertime. But this one, you can definitely wear it in the winter as well because it's got the warm caramel and the praline that gives it that like very comforting feeling. So that's what we have, the Gold Couture by by Juicy Couture. Okay. Now, the last one was an honorable mention. I was only going to do 5, but I decided to add one more because I think I needed something a little bit more different than what I have here for you guys. And this one here is an honorable mention right here. This one. I've also reviewed this in my channel. And this here is the Emmanuel Ungaro by Emmanuel Ungaro. So this has got like a pink little juice. This is supposed to represent a spray can, like a paint spray can. And it's interesting if you wanted to kind of read, not read, but review the video that I did on this one. It explains like the design and, you know, more of the art for this one. I'll link the, I will link the videos that I've done for these down below. But this is the Emmanuel Ungaro. This one here, I decided to add because, like I said, it's an honorable mention. This one here, you guys, is more for the sweet lover, the sweet patchouli lover. This is to me, is a sweet pear, white floral, tuberose, patchouli balm. It's super sweet. The pear is super sweet, but you get that tuberose and patchouli balm in this one. It is a heavy on the patchouli. If you don't like patchouli, you will probably not enjoy this one very much. If you love your patchouli and you love your sweets, like your pear and your tuberose, oh, this fragrance is a very beautiful fragrance. It is strong. This is a very high projection fragrance, as well as like the Victoria's Secret. This one goes in third, and then the rest of them are more mild. But this one here is strong. It's a strong fragrance. I got the smaller bottle. So this one here, we will review the accords. This one is a fruity, sweet, white floral, woody, almond, vanilla, tuberose, powdery, patchouli, warm, spicy fragrance. We have top notes of almond, pear, and plum. Middle notes of tuberose, orange blossom, and jasmine. And then at the base, we have vanilla, patchouli, sandalwood, and musk. This is a super sweet fragrance. It sprays super a lot. It sprays quite a bit. So yeah, this one, you guys, is just probably the sweetest out of all these. And the patchouli is probably the strongest as well. You get a lot of the pear at the initial. The plum kind of gives it a little bit of, it's plum and almond. You would think it'd be creamier. You know what? It'd be crazy if it was more milkier because of the plum and the almond. But because of the tuberose, they went a little heavy on the tuberose. The white florals, you know, the orange blossom and the jasmine and the patchouli, that, you know, it didn't give a chance for this almond note to shine or the plum to shine. It's a very, very pretty fragrance. This one's more flirty out of all these. This one is funner. I would say it's more youthful as well. And it's something for maybe a younger woman, a younger girl. It is, it's like a, yeah, it's like a sweet chuli, a sweet patchouli with tuberose and orange blossoms and jasmine in there. So the sandalwood gives it a little bit more of that maturity, a little bit more of the sophistication. But the fruitiness is still like the dominating factor here. Sweet fruit and patchouli is the two dominating accords here. I do like it though. I do like it a lot. This one, I would think that, you know, like a summer evening that's a little bit cooler would be nice. Or this could be really, really nice for those gals who just can't stay away from the sweet fragrances, even in the cold summer days. But this patchouli, sandalwood, tuberose, white florals, make it a little bit more evening wear, because if it wouldn't have those notes, it would just be total like sugar candy fragrance. But it is very, very beautiful. It's really pretty. Like I said, it's very flirty and fun for somebody that just wants to step up their game a little bit more. With this one, this is a fun little fragrance. So there you have it, you guys. That's what we have for you today. I had a lot of fun reviewing these fragrances. Emmanuel Ungaro is the last one we reviewed. So very, very beautiful fragrances in my opinion. I think they are all lovely in their own way. If you're looking more for a more masculine, more sage citrus, you have this Guess Seductive Noir. If you're looking for something more creamier and something a little bit more comforting and a little bit softer and toned down, but still creamy and sandalwoody, I would do this, the True Reflection. If you like your gourmand, your sweet gourmand, but still like the freshness of the Viva La Juicy, I would do this Gold Couture with the caramel notes and the praline. If you want something that is very sophisticated, very sensual, and that projects and that makes you feel expensive, I would do Reb'l Fleur, coconut, tropical, plummy, and just overall kind of well balanced but very strong. If you're looking for something a little bit with more bite, with something with more pepper, with a little bit more spice, a little bit more attitude, a little bit bolder and stronger, then you want to try the Victoria's Secret Very Sexy. This is absolutely beautiful, strong but beautiful. If you want something more on the lighter kind of more youthful, more funner, more playful, more flirty, then you want to try this patchouli sweet pear fragrance by Manuel Ungaro. And you know, it's got some white florals in there, so it's a sweeter one, I would say. That's what I have for you. You guys, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that like button. If you like my content and you love affordable fragrances, please don't forget to subscribe. And for those of you that are returning, thank you so very much, everyone, for being here and for your support. Leave me those comments. Do you enjoy any of these, or which ones are your favorite evening going out fragrances? Let me know in the comments. I love to read your comments, and I really appreciate every single one of them. So thank you so much again. You guys stay blessed, and please take care. And don't forget to hit that like button.